All right.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order.
I think I put it out of order. We usually do a
Yeah, we should
then
go roll call. I was like, yeah,
I'll do the roll call.
please.
Chair Banier,
Here?
Vice Chair Van Kulen here, Commissioner Chabra, Commissioner Lucido, Commissioner Moniz here, Commissioner Batal,
Here.
Commissioner Zarber here.
All right. All right, wonderful. And Vice Chair, would you like to lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
All right, ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Fantastic. Now we're on to the declaration of posting of the agenda.
The agenda has been posted per the government code.
Thank you. And now this is the time for public comment. That is not for items not on the agenda.
So if there's anyone in the audience who wants to comment on an item that's not on the agenda but in the commission's purview, you can come up and do that now. Don't see any speakers coming up.
Okay. All right. And I think we can move on to the first item for recognitions. We have our holiday lights event winners.
Yes. Okay, so this is the second year that we've done the Holiday Lights Morgan Hill, sponsored by Morgan Hill Parks and Recreation. And what we've done is we did in the month of December is invited the community to participate in a holiday decorating contest. If you know, we had the haunt during the month of October, then it was the third year we did that. And it's the second year we've done that. And so basically people decorate their house and get judged. And we had three categories for prizes: most creative, best use of effects, and merry and bright. And we had commissioners served as judges from both the Parks and Rec Commission and the Library, Culture and Arts Commission. Commissioner Moniz and Lucido supported the event. So Commissioner Moniz has any comments on it? You can jump in whenever he feels appropriate. But we had 34 homes that participated, and that's more than double that we had in 2024. And this year, the Morgan Hill Wine Trolley again did tons of tours for the event, and they donated proceeds, actually $5,000 donation to Parks and Recreation for supporting Holiday Lights in the Haunt this year. So they've been a great partner. And we'll get on to the winners. I only believe there's only one set of winners that are here today to be recognized, but we'll talk about all the winners. So most creative went to 14630 Badger Pass Road, and that was Jim Robertson and family. And then best use of effects was actually a tie, and that was 620 San Pedro with John Blazek and 620 Calle Buena Vista with Dominic Santangelo. And so that was a tie. And then the winner for Merry and Bright was 2470 Gitana Court, and that was Chris Loesch and family. And I think, Chris, are you here? Nope. Nobody here from Holiday Lights? Okay, they said they were coming, but maybe they didn't make it. But we congratulate them all. So want to really emphasize this is a great thing that we do in Parks and Rec. It helps put the Parks and Rec name out there, but also it gets our community involved. And then obviously the sponsorship from the wine trolley doesn't hurt. One of the cool things we did this year is everyone got kind of yard signs that was participating, so you could clearly see they were participating in the event, which was helpful. And I want to give the biggest shout out of the night to the judges, Commissioner Moniz and Lucido. because it took a ton of time to do it. Commissioner Moniz, how many hours did you have to spend on it?
We did it over a couple nights
Yeah,
because it was a ton.
yeah.
But, you know, too bad everybody couldn't win an award because they're all super neat. And kudos to the White Trolley folks. Very entertaining, very, very good program.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Here.
How many
Thanks.
other judges were there,
Let's think.
by the way? Do you
Oh,
know?
I have no idea.
Maybe, do you know how many other judges there were?
I'm sorry.
How many judges?
There were 5 judges, 3 from the LCAC and 2 from PRC.
Okay. Takes a lot.
Actually, there may have been a couple of the other, I think we actually had a YAC member or 2 help with judging this year too, so.
Good. That was going to be my
Yeah.
suggestion.
Two from YAC. Yeah, 2 YAC members as well, so shout out to them too.
Yes, exactly. Good, very good. Fantastic. All right, and then now we will move on to the Public Services Director report.
Yeah, so just a quick update, because I know we have a lot of items tonight, so in follow-up to a previous email regarding policy on locking the skate park, I'll just let you know city staff is working on that. We reached back out to the person who emailed the commission, and we are in conversation because it's something locking our facilities up is something we've been locking or not locking is something we're definitely looking at citywide, as it takes a lot of resources. So, and then just want you to put on your calendar, Saturday, July 11th is going to be held for our Parks and Recreation Night at Galvin Park. So that'll be Saturday, July 11th, and then May 16th is the date we are, Saturday, May 16th in the morning is the date where we'll have our annual open streets event at the Community and Cultural Center. And any commissioners who want to support that by volunteering to support would be welcome. And also, if you just want to attend, put on your calendars. So with that, I'll conclude my report.
I do have one question. The volleyball folks who reached out to you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So same thing. We have reached back out to them and are in discussions with them as well.
Will we have an update in our following meeting?
Yes, I'm not sure if it'll be at the following meeting or looking forward as we get towards CIP, but you'll have an update.
Wonderful. And with that, that's the end of the report.
Yes.
Okay, with that, then do we have an adoption of our agenda?
I would like to make a request to swap 4 and 5 here at Jackson Park last in the work plan as number 4.
No problems. We will swap items number 4 and 5.
Move to adopt the agenda with the amendment. The second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. We will move on then as planned.
Yep.
Fantastic. Moving on to business. Accepting, has everyone had a chance to review the December minutes? Any questions, or can we accept them as is?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign? All right. Motion carries. All right, item number 2. Updates. First, we will have our update from the Boys and Girls Club of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and as Fred and team are coming down here, I'll give it this on this item. This is kind of an annual item where we invite partners who have partnering with the city to come and provide presentations to the commission. And with that, I'll turn it on over.
Hello, everybody. Fred McCaslin, Boys and Girls Club of Silicon Valley. We've been here in Morgan Hill for over 11 years. Today, we have Jessica Castellanos from our El Toro location, Elizabeth Mendoza from our residentials, and Hemi Marcos from our Voices Morgan Hill Club, which is our newest location. During the school year, we're open in the after school from 2:30 to 6 p.m. with the exception of Voices, which has a little longer day. They're open from 4 p.m. to 7:30. Primarily, they all serve elementary age students with the exception of Jessica. She serves children from Live Oak and Sobrato. We have wraparound services all the way from 5 years old to 18. We're in the midst of our school year program, and the normal programming is academics driven with homework center initially, and then more STEM and literacy type programs. We also have art, sports, and team programs, which I'll talk about a little later. We're in winter curriculum right now where they're doing coding and drama matters and getting ready for the tech challenge at the Tech Museum this coming spring. There's also intramural sports. Our leadership and training program is geared for Live Oak and Sobrato students. So they do college readiness and job readiness, and we actually employ them during the summer. 25 students this past summer were able to work at our residentials and Voices and the El Toro. El Toro is located at the Friendly Inn. Residentials are Jasmine Square, Park Place on Del Monte, and Cochrane Village over there on the corner of Butterfield. And then Voices Morgan Hill is located on Cosmo and Monterey. Some of our capstone events that we just completed were the Fine Arts Exhibit, which is a competition against all the Boys and Girls Clubs across America. And 3 of our children from the El Toro won Performing Arts awards. They come from PA Walsh, Britain, and Live Oak. But I'm going to turn it over to the ladies here because they can speak specifically of what they're doing currently and what they have planned in the near future. We'll turn it over to Jessica, who's at the Friendly Inn over here on Crest Avenue.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Castellanos. Like Brad said, I am the unit director here at our Morgan Hill location on Crest Avenue. I'm just going to share with you guys because I'm sure you guys know what we do at the program. We're not just an after-school program. We offer a bunch of year-round events for our kids and their families to be able to participate in. Specifically, some holiday events that we've had in the fall. We did a fall festival, so it was a mini haunted house that we had with our high school students that put on the whole show. They DIY'd everything. They had a great time. They probably spent like 2 months making everything. And it turned into a great event. We invited people and family from the community. There were carnival games, jumpers, food vendors. It was just a really good time for everyone to come together and experience that, and to see, that our youth were able to put that together is something that we look forward to every year. A couple of partnerships that we also do have in Morgan Hill was with the Rotary Club. So for the last 15 years, we have been able to do a partnership with the Rotary Club. They sponsor gifts for all of our clubhouse members at one of our holiday parties. And it's another thing that we've been doing. It's a tradition for our club kids. And they look forward to it every year. Another really big partnership that we also have is the Kiwanis Club of Morgan Hill. And we did participate in last year's Holiday Lights Parade. So our kids got to dress up and then walk the parade as well. They also, we also volunteer for them in different events that they have, like their Young Eagles events and a couple of food drives that they had last year as well. And then I think the most important, one of the biggest things too, is they also provide scholarships for our low-income families who participate in our summer enrichment program. And one of the other things that we also do and that we've been able to bring back since pre-COVID was our reading program. So our reading program was established before the pandemic, and providing structured tutoring to children who are reading below grade level. So in partnership with our former mayor, Steve Tate, the Boys and Girls Clubs has resurrected the program to support students who are struggling academically. So yeah, those are just opportunities that we provide for our students at the program. I can pass it on to Lisbeth.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lisbeth Mendoza. I'm the unit director at the Boys and Girls Club residential site. Our sites are located within low-income apartment communities, and our programs are offered completely free to residents during both the school year and the summer. Many of our members do not have access to transportation, nor do they have nearby after-school programs at their schools. Because of this, they rely heavily on school bus transportation to bring them home, where our sites are conveniently located at the main offices at the apartment complexes. Being located where our family live is essential. It allows children to safely access the enrichment opportunities right at home. We are proud to offer a wide range of experiences for our members, including field trips such as Christmas in the Park, Monterey Bay Aquarium, Aquatic Center, local hikes, and community outings like bowling and movies. Our members and their families rely on these residential sites. They are more than just after-school programs. They are safe spaces, opportunities for growth, and a source of support for families who may otherwise have limited options. So just thank you for recognizing the importance and keeping these programs accessible and close to home.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hemi Marcos. I'm at the Voices Morgan Hill Boys and Girls Club. So I just wanted to say, like, first and foremost, our kids are so happy to have finally found a little community and finally established their school in an area. I feel like maybe something that I wasn't used to. I'm not used to Morgan Hill, we're at Hollister, but coming into this community and seeing everything that the kids had to offer and being able to translate that with Boys and Girls Club and give them even more opportunities. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Voices Morgan Hill School, but they don't have any extracurricular sports. They don't have any, just kind of like that extra stuff that I know that our kids really enjoy. So something that we do at Voices Morgan Hill that's a little special is we're the middle school champions for our healthy cook-off that Fred was talking about earlier, something where we compete against all the other Boys and Girls Clubs in all of Silicon Valley. So middle school champs here. Hopefully next year we can bring it back, or this year we bring it back. But our kids are honestly like the amount of opportunities that we bring them in the after school program within the time space or the time that we have with them. Fred mentioned it. Our school does not get out until 4:30. And then we end the day at 7:30. So our kids really, any chance they get, are taking advantage of the sports activities that we talked about. I know that Fred talked about volleyball, futsal, just a few other things too. And then, like I said, the healthy cook-off, our kids are super excited about that. I know it's coming up soon. And then getting them, I don't want to say outside of Morgan Hill, but getting them to experience maybe something outside of Morgan Hill, going to the Tech Challenge and being able to participate in that. I know that we've got our 5th grade team really excited for that. I know that I come from San Jose, so I'm a little more familiar with that area, taking them out to the same exact field trips that I used to go to as a kid. If you guys are familiar with Raging Waters, now it's Calabunga. Kids are looking forward to that every single summer. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to take them over to Great America before that closes, but being able to get them outside of the regular program space, getting them out and experiencing the world before they go off to high school or before finishing up their career at Voices Morgan Hill. Coming from a club kid, I know that I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. Being able to give that back to my kids now is honestly like the best thing in the entire world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you giving us the time. We really take advantage of all the amenities here in Morgan Hill, and then we at times do take them outside of Morgan Hill, but we really appreciate all the support that Park Place and Friendly Inn serving a lot of children from the city of Morgan Hill. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Since Chair, since we have 3 organizations, if you had questions for the Boys and Girls Club, you might want to take them now before the next organization.
Are there any questions from the commission?
No.
Okay. Wonderful work. Thank you very much. Fantastic. All right. Then it's time for our updates from the Morgan Hill Tennis Club.
Yes. The full year presentation up for you real quick. Oh, he didn't put it on there. You know, I'm gonna, hold on one second. All right. Well, I can figure it out.
So you can, everybody can see you on this.
No, it's not. There was a 3rd presentation from the tennis club on there.
Okay,
It's on the thumb drive.
here, let me, okay. What's the here? Okay, maybe this one. One of these?
Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Oh, it was PDF?
yeah, it was a PDF.
Oh,
Okay, and then from here, I mean, you can scroll.
By the way, it's just.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Actually, where's it?
Up there.
Yeah, you should be able to use there you go.
Okay.
Oops.
There we go.
Left and right arrows.
Oh, left and right? Not down. It's down, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. I am Rachel Bonse. I am the newly elected president for the tennis club. So this is new to me. I have a lot of slides, but we'll try to go through them quickly. So a little history on the club. It was started in 2008, correct me if I'm wrong. There were only 4 courts and then 4 more were added, which is perfect for having matches for the USTA. That's why we're able to have leagues out off the court. Let's see, we're fortunate to have, we still have 2 founders here with us with the club. Robin is also a chairman and Edward Taylor, who's our webmaster and also a founder. And then we have Penny, who's our vice president and also the club pro. So whoever needs, have kids and need lessons, Penny will be happy to help out with that. And Julie, who is our membership that collects the fees from members. And we have 3 that are not able to join, Laura, our treasurer, and Paul Nguyen, who's our scheduler, and Lisa, that's our secretary. Okay. Some of the big items that we've installed, boards are these 2 canopies, entryway into court 1 and 2, and court 3 through 6. We also installed the benches, picnic tables, and these were all paid for by the club and installed by the club. We started out with the great benches, but then we saw the city painted their other picnic tables white, so we followed suit and painted ours white too, so which they look really nice. We also added shade structures, there's 16 of them for all the 8 courts, and benches were donated by some of the members. And that's Kenny, one of them. And Marilyn from there. She's on the council, she's still here. She was there when we installed the benches, and these are some of the donors. We also installed 2 additional gates, one by the shed to court 2, which is easily accessible for the carts for the tennis lessons. So, and the other one is between court 4 and 5. Other items is the windscreens and LED lights, which are much better for night matches. And the club regularly cleans the courts. We have a lot of funds on the court. Halloween social last year, Halloween shenanigans. Our teams, we joined USTA League, which is the United States Tennis Association. And we have to be members of the USTA in order to join leagues. So we play against other clubs like Los Gatos, Swimming Racket, Courtside, AVAC, ASR, Silver Creek, and Evergreen sometimes. And then at the end of the season, there's 10 weeks. And at the season, we have playoff and win, we advance to sectionals. And we do most of the times. We have a lot of teams that go to sectionals. So we put Morgan Hill on the map. Mostly the women's team, we're working on the men. We participate in the 4th of July parade. That's a lot of fun. We get all the members, the kids, the join and walks. That's a lot of fun. When it rains, we don't like the rain because we stop playing, but then we recruit our little minions. Try to teach them at a young age to volunteer, but in this case, they work for Mickey D for Happy Meal. We have tools for cleaning, but that big old thing, the Vaptor, that is, we are considered considering buying it. We hear from a lot of other clubs that works really great for drying up the courts fast. But we just have to work out the logistic and see if the women will be able to use them. You don't want to waste money if it's not gonna be used. Okay, so we've had a lot of issues last year with vandals and a lot of people, a lot of group, especially when the weather is nice, they go out there and play soccer on the courts. We've caught them, we've seen them sit on the nets, so that damages the nets. But also when our members go up to them and ask them to leave, there's no soccer, you know, on the courts. They get confrontational, and then we've had to call the police a couple of times, actually a few times. Sometimes they come right away, sometimes they don't. But it is a safety issue. The members are afraid to ask them anymore, especially if they're in big groups, because it's they get very confrontational, and so that is a major issue that we're working with the city, with Chris and Jeannie and Carrie to try to come up with a solution. And part of that is we'd like to lock the gates at night, but we're told that the city doesn't have resources for us to come up with a plan, but we don't have enough money either to pay for security, private security. So then we think maybe we'll cut the lights, the power at a certain time so that they're not coming, because most of the time they're going there because there's lights. And I know the people that live in their cars in the parking lot, they use the outlets to charge their phones and stuff, so we're working on ways to try to minimize that. Also, there's like, people have their dogs on the courts and they poop all over, and then sometimes there's human feces. So, and then it's very embarrassing when we have matches and we have to clean it up. Fortunately, Carrie has provided us with the C-Click Fix website. Yes, you can report it and just click and put a pin on where the issue is. And that way, if nobody's there, when they get there, they can just go to the location and then help clean it up. But these are our wish list to work with the city to cut down on some of the vandals in the court, because we have to replace the ball trays, the nets, you know, that add up, you know, it's constantly. And the other thing, we'd like to put a webcam, so that way we can check on rainy day when we live far from the court, we don't have to drive down, you know, and to see if the courts are playable. So we'll work with Chris and his team on that and see we can come up with a plan. Currently, on court 7 and 8, those were resurfaced 2003. But about 6 months after that, these cracks, very big, happen, and they're getting bigger. We talked to Chris and the team about it. There is a plan to add it to their budget, hopefully this year, to have them repair and resurface again. But in the meantime, Kenny is gonna work with one of our other members with a temporary solution. Kenny, can you talk to that? To the,
Yeah.
what you're gonna do?
So, hi guys, I'm Ken Marks. I met with a contractor from our club on, yesterday actually, and he has come up with, he has a crack seal meant for tennis courts, and we're gonna actually fill the cracks with, like a paver sand. And then we will, seal it with, a matching color, blue and green, match the court, and that should hold for a time being. We measured the depth, it's about 2.5 inches deep, not too bad. The cracks are about 1.5 inches wide. It's probably the max width that we can work with for what we have. But we're gonna handle that in probably the end of March or early April. So we'll do the best we can to fix it, and we'll make it look as professional as possible. So hopefully it works.
Yeah,
And
but I
save
think the
some
most,
money.
yeah, but the most important is it's safety, so that nobody trips on it and stuff, so. Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
Kenny. So these are projects we're working on with the city, and so surfacing those 2 courts, and court 3 is normally the city uses it so for lessons, but they're pretty bad. 6 is not playable at all. We do not use it for any league. The public use it, but there's a big it's a hollow spot on the left, right, on the other side of the left corner.
Or 3?
No, 6.
Six.
So But Chris said that that's a major undertaking, so that's gonna be some time. All right, did I miss anything? You guys wanna add something? What happened to our, I think we missed some slides. Yeah, we're missing a lot of slides. Anyway, so we love our courts. We love to play tennis out of there, and so we're doing our part by, to maintain it. And we have a website that is right there. If you need to see more details on what we do, and if you want to, list of contacts, if you have a question, we have our website, and we also have an Instagram page. We greatly appreciate our relationship and collaboration with the city, and we look forward to future collaboration. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is that court 6, is that new construction? The new construction court, or is that an old court?
The old court.
Was that one of the new
original.
ones?
We're showing, yeah, it's the one in the back of the original, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with regard to the locks, can you guys just lock it and unlock it, or maybe lock it, but have the city unlock it, or check a key out or something like that? So.
We're working on it and see if there's somebody that wants to go out every night
The
to
problem,
lock them.
You know, you would rotate around among
Yeah.
members or something.
We're working on,
we've talked about it, but we're having a problem with, the large amounts of soccer players coming out there at night. And we've
Yeah.
discussed with club members that were willing to lock them, but then they're like, well, what do we do when we got there? There's 40 of them and I'm there. I'm like, all right, guys, off the court, there's.
And they
They've
don't wanna
already had
leave.
problems, like with the confrontation out there, and not really physical, but. The
Why
guys
don't you
just
leave them
like-
locked and have somebody check a key out to use them? From the CRC.
Yeah, there's just a lot of regular public that are using the courts, until it gets late. So I think we have those are great ideas. We can always review options, but I don't think it's.
Public could check them out too, right? The key is you want to keep the soccer guys off it.
yeah. That's why we're thinking maybe we can cut the power off at 10:00, 10:30. We could start with that.
For those things.
Well, the
Yeah.
power gets, the lights go off at 10:15, I believe, right?
Verifying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should be able to turn off the lights are on a timer, and they should be turned off at any time we can.
Well, the other thing, court 1 and 2 is a dial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have we posted signage?
Yeah.
Signs that say.
There's-
There are signs.
Yeah.
Many signs, yes.
Yeah.
We have,
I mean, it even says tennis only, but they still play soccer and then,
it gets kind of crazy out there, so
Yeah.
it's like, they don't care, and we've had members. We show them the signs and they just laugh, they don't
And the
care.
police are not responsive.
they come sometimes, we're low priority, but nobody's getting beat up or,
a lot of issues that happen on like Fridays and Saturdays at 10:00, it's like prime time
Yeah,
police.
So is that when you have the soccer
Yeah.
players, is it Friday and Saturday?
Come out there tonight, they'll be out there tonight.
the summertime, when the weather gets nice, they're there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if we could put up a camera or something like that, we could also put a sign saying that we have a camera installed, so
Yeah.
that might,
a webcam.
yeah.
Okay.
might-
We're working on Saturdays.
How large is the club?
Board members?
Foreigner.
So we have, in the database, we have about 900 entries. And about 300 of them are active on any given time. So there's a rolling,
It's great.
and the membership is annual, so about every year,
What does it cost to be a member?
$60
$60.
for a year.
Cheaper than the other.
Reasonable.
Very reasonable.
And the membership gets you,
Pardon?
what does the membership,
Get to, they get to sign up for, leagues,
these leagues?
STA leagues, yeah, they have to, yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
And they get to go to the
And
tournament.
they get to turn.
Tournaments and drop-ins and that type of thing.
Yeah.
How much time are the courts used by a public that's not part of your organization?
It
That's a good
varies, right? And the weather's nice, and you see a lot of them out there, but, when we have the bulletin board with our calendar there with the matches, the date of matches and stuff, so they're pretty good at looking at those and.
So I just left the courts. I was running a clinic tonight. Of the 8 courts, there was a league match coming in, so 4 were being used by league, and there was for sure 2 courts there were full with public. And so they come out there, and on weekends especially, like even yesterday when I left, at around 11, there was a lot of families coming in. Who are non-members using the courts.
So tournaments only use 4 courts?
Right now, it depends. There's like right now, we're in a season where they're using
3 and 4.
3 to 4 courts.
Yeah, in
Springtime,
April would be 5 rounds.
5 courts.
Yeah.
During
There's
match.
always courts available for the public.
Oh,
Correct, yeah.
And we have drop-in sessions on Saturday mornings that are open to the public.
Everybody.
Everybody.
7 and 8, yeah.
And people get to rotate in and
Right.
it's very friendly to the public that I
Yeah.
tell people go up there and play and you can mix it with club members and club members, non-club members, they all work themselves in. And that's how we get new members all the time. So it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We have one more update from the Morgan Hill Pickleball Club.
Pickleballers.
Well, thank you for having us back.
Yes.
In about a year. I'm Tim Hendrick, the president of the Pickleball Club, and Bev Whelan, who's on our board. We're gonna be talking to you tonight about what's been going on, and a lot has been going on since we last talked to all of you. So I'll let Bev start it.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I'm Bev Wheatland. I'm the membership director for the club. And we feel that the Morgan Hill Pickleball Club is a huge contributing member to the city of Morgan Hill. We're always looking at the whole community beyond just our club members. So we have built a community of both club members and other pickleball players that are focusing on exercise, healthy living, social connections, supporting local businesses, and giving back to the community. So we've introduced the sport of pickleball to the community members of all ages, from very young to very old.
We have I think we have 4 people in their 80s.
Yeah.
playing.
We're getting close. And our members support the local businesses by meeting before games for coffee and breakfast, after games for lunch, and then most important for happy hour. Back there, meeting at Bubbles tonight, and we're missing
We're
it.
missing it.
Yeah. We also have a large group that met on the pickleball courts, that created a musical group called the Pickle Ukes. And we play at all the local assisted living facilities in the area. That's part of our giving back. So our membership status as of now, and our courts have only been open a little over the permanent courts, a little over a year. As of December 1st, we were at 238 members. We're in the renewal period right now. We picked up at least 20 members that did not belong to the club before, plus our current members renewing. So that the renewal period will end February 1st. I would estimate, not everyone playing pickleball is a member. I would estimate that we have approximately 900 people playing on that court on a regular basis. So in the last year, the club has sponsored, organized, put together, oversaw 10 separate pickleball events. We had a total between those 10 events of 808 participants. Now, of course, some of them did every event, and not all of them were right from Morgan Hill. We do pull people out from surrounding areas too. At the request of the mayor, we oversaw a pickleball demonstration at the Healthy Morgan Hill Kickoff event, and it was well attended. We are hosting our first indoor pickleball event on Valentine's Day. We were able to work with the city and rent the gyms in the CRC for an hour or for a couple of hours Saturday night after it closes. A lot of our members play almost exclusively indoors. So we haven't been able to offer in many events to them. They're already, that event, we could only take 24 people in. it was filled within 2 days, and it's not until Valentine's Day. And they're already coming to me and saying, when are we gonna have more? Can we have more? But the availability of the gyms is very limited, so we have not been able to offer much of that. Tim's gonna go over what the club has contributed to the facilities right now.
So we've been working very closely with the city, with Chris and Jenny and many of the city people. And they've been incredible in working with us. I have to say, there's been no question about that. Our first request was we needed water. We didn't have a water fountain anywhere near the pickleball courts. And so city was very helpful in getting a whole water station put in near the courts and so on. We needed shade. We didn't have any shade. So then we worked with another community organization and the city and contributed from our monies to help pay for those shades that were put up. We purchased a big storage cabinet, big, huge place, that we can now put our equipment in, but the city is also using it for their equipment too. So it's again, a good relationship there. We have bought all kinds of equipment that comes from our dues and the registration for all the tournaments that we have and so on. Whether it's chairs, court cleaning equipment and so on, then that all has been pulled together. It's really the first year, so we've had to get all this stuff that will carry on, but it's been a big effort here in the early part. We purchased and installed windscreens now on the basketball courts because we were having tournaments up there and so on, the wind problems, the leaf problems and so on. So we have now purchased those and we put those up ourselves. And so again, our club members are regularly doing the maintenance on the courts. Her husband is out there with a blower, it seems like every 2 days, blowing all the leaves off and everything else of the courts. Now, our biggest fundraiser right now is lights. We needed lights because we're having so many people want to play in the evenings. And as we've expanded, younger people that are working, retire. So we get to play during the mornings any day we want, but a lot of people want to play in the evenings. And so we've been working very closely with Chris. I've been involved personally with it, going out and seeing demonstrations of different LED light systems and so on. Those are coming. We've had an issue raised about sound a little bit. So that has been covered with the city, and Chris is working on that and going through the processes that it is needed for sound abatement and so on and so forth. It's just been very important that we get those lights. And I think it's going to open a lot more doors for us and so on. So we've had a lot of money donated, separate from club dues, separate from registration for the lights. And we're going to share quite heavily in those costs with the city to get those lights installed. And then back to Bev to close it.
Well, not quite closing it yet.
Okay.
Well, we got a few obstacles that we're looking at that we'd like to move one step further. We have 4 courts, only 4 courts. When you're talking 900 people trying to get on 4 courts, and they don't reserve a court. They go for open play. They're all lined up on the courts playing. There's all of these paddles lined up. The other day I was out there and there was like 40 people just waiting to play because we rotate in every game. You get one game, you're off, and then the next people go in. So to get good amount of exercise, you have to go through. So the 4 courts has really been a problem. We really need more courts. We do have the basketball courts that we can utilize on a temporary basis for tournaments and that. But the surface on those courts that surface is in bad shape. There's cracks, there's divots. We've discussed before if those could be resurfaced. That would give us some more space. When we're putting a tournament together, they do not want to play on those courts. We were hoping the windscreens would help, but they're not happy when they have to play because it's not the same level as our nice new permanent courts. We did add the screens. The participants are really wanting more organized activities. We did 10, and some of those tournaments are like 2 or 3 days, but some of them were 1-day things. But we only are able to use those courts minimal because those are public courts. Just like I assume the tennis courts are public courts, so the public comes first. So we can only use it limited amount of time. So if we had more courts, that would give us more time. I think we're the only sport that is not allowed to have leagues on a weekly basis because it would take too much time away from the public play. And they really want leagues. People are growing. It's a very growing sport. We also need more options for indoor play. People cannot play indoors. If they work, we just have limited hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 2 hours on Saturday. And the Monday, Wednesday, Friday are in the morning, or they're 10 to 2. So people who work can never play those hours either. So if we could somehow work that out, get more hours, that'd be great. I'm sure you're aware Gilroy has obtained funding for 6 courts with lights. So that's going to be great for the whole pickleball community. But what it's going to mean is probably our Morgan Hill residents are going to be having to go to Gilroy to play. It'd be nice if we could, step it up and keep the courts at a level that everyone's able to play. That's all I
Just
have.
one last thing, that at the request of the mayor this year, we were meeting with all of South County. So from Cordoval and Gilroy and Hollister, we were trying to put together a huge tournament that would be South County related. And we're still planning on that next year. It just we didn't have all the resources and the ability to pull it off that fast as what we were being asked to do. But everybody was interested and everybody is excited about it. Hollister has 85 people in their club, but they don't have any courts. So they're coming over here or they're going to Gilroy to play. And so, that's just adding to some of this need for, additional services and capability and so on. So, any questions from any of you? Greg?
Did any of the comments that the group that was just up here make with regard to the soccer? Are you experiencing those problems too? And if you put lights, is that something maybe you guys want to give some consideration to kind of
With
that up on the plane?
so the city, probably because of the tennis courts, were very cognitive of you need a clear path to see down through the courts. So we did not block the windscreens from the road. So and the
In the front of the courts.
on the front
We
of the
can't
courts.
walk either because of.
So when they
To be able to see all the way through.
I was talking about the soccer use.
No, because I think we're more visible, okay, so they can see straight down. We haven't had, we had one windscreen cut recently. But no soccer people, we haven't had homeless people on there, we have
You
not.
put lights in. That was my question. Are you thinking about how to deal with that? Because it sounds like this is a light issue. They have light at night, then you get the soccer players there. So I was just suggesting you consider that as part of your, formulating your plan.
Well, I think if I can just jump in, I think some of that is on the tennis courts, the use will get lighter around 9 or 10. So if all the courts are being used as pickleball expects it to, and I do believe we can figure out the tennis court issue as well with timing of the lights. And so when we purchase the lights or put the lights in place, we can figure it out. But I totally understand your point.
Yeah, our courts are smaller too. And from a standpoint of soccer, yeah, you could play
The
soccer.
soccer they're playing is not dependent upon size. I know I was involved heavily with the soccer program. They're small sided games. They have I'm assuming they have little goals and it's it's not like a big full-size field type game. It's
it's
a different type of a game, but I just wanted you to think about that as you're planning.
No, the lights would go off at 10, and I expect they're gonna be very big, this courts will be very busy till 10. We've had a problem with people bringing their own temporary lights in and playing, and where we had a real problem was they were staying very late and causing a problem,
Till midnight.
or one.
And so we've talked to those people and we've kind of got people watching that situation too.
So, but I think it will be busy. I don't think it will be a problem with people, but where we're situated, we're so close to the CRC and it's very busy and it's much more visible than the tennis courts are.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure. I don't know if you just want to check and see if there's public comment on this item before moving on.
Sure. Any public comments? All right. Okay, then we'll move on to item number 3 for our youth and teen program updates.
Busy agenda tonight. So good evening, commissioners. I'm Jenny Tucker, Recreation Manager. I have with me Leo Kishibe. Well, I've never I know. He's with our YMCA. He's going to talk to us tonight about some of our teen program. And then Chiki Mahia, and teen coordinator, who will talk about her YAC program or our YAC program. So tonight, I'll start off by just kind of sharing a lot of these the information we've shared with you throughout the year. But we just wanted to kind of group it all together in kind of our youth and teen programs as just a annual recap of kind of the programs that we offer for our community for youth and teens. So as a reminder, we have our popular Recreation preschool program. This preschool program is held at the Community and Cultural Center. I believe Andrew and Miss Kiana, our preschool director, spoke to you a few months ago. But it's held Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings as an option, and also a Tuesday, Thursday morning option. We're looking at summer programs and what we're going to offer in the summer, and then registration already opens in February for next school year already. And so we're at capacity for the morning classes this year, and each class has 24 students. So we're hoping to keep that going. We just are working with the transitional kindergarten changes and how they're accepting children younger. So we're getting creative on what we're doing and offering in our program. So the Recreation preschool program is for that younger age group that we offer. We are also always offering enrichment and contract classes, variety of different classes held throughout the year, 17 different instructors. Most of them are contracted instructors that we work with to offer indoor soccer classes, basketball classes, any of the like Lego or enrichment programs. Throughout the year, we offered 482 classes. This doesn't even include our youth swim lesson programs. So just trying to get that variety out there for all the children and finding out what the community wants. And then we get someone and then our instructor leaves, so we have to go and pivot again. So we have a contract class specialist, Jamie, who works really hard and diligently on trying to find what the community wants on an ongoing basis. And then, as you know, and then we'll talk to you guys as we get closer to summer as well. We'll be back here to share more summer highlights. But just a quick recap of the last summer, we had 55 different summer camps, different ranges. All of them were really specialty camps, and we'll be looking to do that again this year. Registration for our summer programs will open in March, with all of our programs kicking off that second week of June, right when the children get out of school. So we are working really hard right now on planning that schedule. And now I'm going to pass it on to Leo for the Teen Center.
Good evening, Leo Kuchbe with the Mount Medina Y. Nice to see you guys again. Just a recap on the Teen Center. Safe place for our teens to be able to come by after school. We're open from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. 4 days a week. Again, we made a change to the age requirements. I would believe right before COVID, where we are now allowing, before it was like an age number, now it's a grade level, so it's sixth grade to 12th grade are allowed to come and join us at the teen center. What they do is they're able to come in, hang out. There's a plethora of things for them to participate with, participate if they choose to, anywhere from, gaming, using computers, if they needed computers for their homework. And then our staff that are in there are there to help with homework, projects, getting them construction paper to do a project, whatever the case may be, our staff are there to help. We recently were able to get a donation where we got a basketball hoop out there. We got some games going on in that back patio, for those of you guys know what that looks like. We built out a stage to do some theater and things like that, trying to get it a little bit more, get some more activities going for those kids that are, into theater, into gaming, into playing basketball, those kind of things. In the past, we have allowed kids, once we get a good group of kids coming, where we get them passes and we're able to walk down to the other side of the facility and actually use the basketball gym, those kind of things. So we're always trying to get some a little bit more things to incentivize kids to come in and actually use the teen center. Programs, partnered with South County Youth Task Force this last year, where we were allowing kids to come in through that partnership, and again, just allow them a safe place to be. And actually use the teen center. We have our adaptive program that runs on Tuesdays, which is flourishing. I was in there last week or the week before, and there's a good amount of kids utilizing that space. We partnered with Circle of Giving for the third year, I believe, where Circle of Giving comes in, and what we do is we help them, get a space, and they go through like a coding program with the kids. They've done some leadership work with the kids in the past as well. And then obviously our YMCA Youth Board utilizes the teen center as well, just to come in again, host meetings, hang out with friends, come up with, things to do, I guess, like over the weekend. So pretty much what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it into like a safe, and I'll use the word chill spot for them to come in and actually be able to hang out and not have like, or you gotta do this now, or you gotta do this now, but there's some sort of structure around it, but at the same time, we want to give them that freedom to kind of choose what they want to do and participate in what they want to participate. If they just want to hang out with friends, then at least they have a safe space to do that. And then obviously our LGBTQ club comes in there. I think they're in there once a month now. And again, it's just another space for teens to feel comfortable to be able to hang out. Our current goals is myself and the team have been trying to encourage attendance a little bit more. It drops off during like the winter time, just because it's raining and transportation issues or whatever the case may be. So less kids are able to actually come and utilize the teen center. So we're working with some of the Boys and Girls Club locations actually in the past that at the centers or the apartment complexes, to be able to come and utilize that after their programs are done and come and hang out at the teen center. Our tech goal, again, we're partnering with Circle of Giving to be able to provide more tech opportunities for the kids. The coding program is full every time Circle of Giving comes in and runs that. So we're trying to do a little bit more of that every year. And then again, our biggest thing is we try to emphasize is creating a safe place for the kids to be able to hang out. Even though we're on the other side of the building, a lot of kids usually, at this point, they kind of know that we're there and when we're open and when their buddies are coming and they're gonna come and hang out. Even if they come and drop in for like 5 minutes just to figure out where they're gonna go and ride their bikes, it's happening there. And then sometimes they come back and hang out. But I think this summer we're gonna try to get them to stay a little bit longer and maybe do some like movie nights and things like that, just to capture their attention. Some pictures of some of our YAC students. The picture to the left, we did we revamped the backyard a little bit, and we put in some new sod, and they did some planter boxes and things like that. The plants obviously didn't last too long, but they're still there, so we're hoping to kind of plant that stuff. On the bottom left, my bottom left is our Circle of Giving group. Again, huge turnout when they come out. That class has been super popular, and it's completely free for students to join. And yeah, that's pretty much the Teen Center update for now, and pass it on to Chiki.
Thank you, Leo. Hi, I'm Chiki. Nice to see you guys, all of you. It's always a pleasure to see you, Sweta. More people, because she was in the Youth Action Council back in 2002. So she was our first YAG president that the city had. So it's always pleasure to see you, and your obviously, all of you. So along with what Leo said about the Teen Center, the YAG hold the meetings in the Teen Center the first Tuesday of the month from 5 to 7 p.m. The Tuesday, the only day that the Teen Center doesn't open to regular hours, so YAG is able to use the space. So YAG consists of a group of 20 teenagers between 13 and 18 years old. The voice of the teens in Morgan Hill since 2000. We develop leadership and team building, teamwork abilities through the planning and coordination of community and special events. Build confidence and recognition that they are valued, active members who serve the community. Participate in a variety of events organized by the Recreation Department and other community organizations like the library, any other nonprofit organization that come and ask for help or support from our teams. They always have the opportunity to come and present to YAG, and then we'll get an answer from them. Support and encourage the 41 developmental assets, which we love very much. And also it's a great opportunity to earn community service hours. We will help them towards the goals in high school. And obviously when they complete the term in YAG, for those who request a recommendation letter, they will get a recommendation letter from me that will help them to apply for college. Next, so the YAG subcommittee, we have, and I have to say that I'm proud that that the city is able to continue it, maintaining or doing this event and becoming annual events, which is a tradition, becoming a tradition, history, building up on the years. So now we're going into the 19th and 50 plus goal, which is a lively dance event for adults aged 50 and over. I'm already in that category, which makes me really proud because when I was younger than 50, I say someday I'm going to be sitting down in one of those tables. So it actually was really, it makes me really happy to see how the teens want to get back to the community and participating with the seniors, dancing and being part of their social environment, and also help them with serving the food and drinks and getting a sense of doing something good for the seniors. Also, another subcommittee that they have is community engagement, and they organize and support community events at the Magical Bridge Playground, and are a great supporter also for the adaptive programs that we're doing since after COVID. We really start hitting on the adaptive programs, and I want to make a little pause right there. So you can see in these pictures, the first one on the left, next to the community engagement title, is the teams, the YAG members, the YAG leaders making balloons for the kids attending to our Magical Bridge events. On the right side is the YAG members, some of them are dressed up, and they participate in adaptive dances that are for 12 years old and up. So we're including also the teens that are adaptive kids / adults with disability, and they support with their art and craft, games, DJ, MC, and it's a lot of fun. And also it's a way for them to understand that they don't need to be perfect to or really well put together to be city around these amazing kids that everything makes them happy. So that's community engagement. They have the great outlet to show up or to experience doing public speaking based on what they learned during the time that they get to prepare the monthly presentations to council. And they come to council meetings every month, and we pick a developmental asset of the month based on the YMCA or Project Cornerstone. And they go to present to the council members that giving a really good outlet for them to feel, wow, I'm speaking in front of adults and I have to practice my speaking, public speaking skills. So that's a great opportunity for them. So thank you for that. They started a new subcommittee last year and it went really well. It's called, they call it SACI, Senior Enrichment Community Initiative. This initiative provides fun activities and events for local seniors community, helping seniors feel loved and included. So they include the activities of the sing Christmas music, the senior dances, but they also go to outside seniors living and they do activities, art and craft for them to make them included to the including in our community. So the last program that we do is actually it was founded, this idea came from former Mayor Steve Tett, who created the youth version of the youth leadership Morgan Hill. And now we use that program we created as a way to recruit new YAC members so we can see them in action. And I know John Moniz have her son in YAC too, and he was really active with YAC as well, and all helping us with the food and barbecue and all that. Yeah, so they have a special place in our heart. So thank you, John. So you see, the interactive is an interactive 4-day leadership development program. And we have the great opportunity to see our city leaders coming and presented to them, like Chris Gioni is there, city manager is there, the city mayor is there, and other teammates from HR that help them how to understand how to work with selecting the interviews, how to present themselves for an interview, how to work with businesses, how to be creative in marketing. So the program is really, really fun. And we created it is created in a way that we make sure that we engage between minimum we have got in the past 12 students. Now we have been sold out with 20 students in the last 2 years. And it's an affordable program and it runs in June, every June. And the first YAC reunion done, it was the 25th years of doing YAC was done on Saturday, November 22nd from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the community center. So you can see they show up around 30 people. Sweta is there, Chris is there. Also can see the mayor and was there, and I can see all the, well, before, after Sweta, all the generation that came after them. And council member Livers, Maryland was there, and Yvonne as well was there. So it was a great opportunity to reconnect with them, and a lot of, obviously, it's hard to get over 400 teens together, but some of them brought their kids. It was beautiful. And we got a lot of feedback on how to make it better, and we're looking forward to the serious reunion. Did you have any questions for us?
I have a comment and some questions. I was for Chiki. So I think it was April or May, I was able to attend one of the YAC meetings. And we talked about how the YAC members go to the city council and present. And we talked about them possibly coming down over here sometime in February or March to come present. And that's another opportunity for them to come and, showcase what they're up to and, everything that they're planning. So that was a comment. And we talked about it sometime last year, and about out of the 20 members, how many of the YAC members actually go to high schools in Morgan Hill? and they were much lesser than we wanted to. They're mostly members who live in Morgan Hill but go to schools and private schools outside of Morgan Hill. So I was wondering, when the leadership program happens, do we go to the local high schools? How do we recruit more youth from our local high schools to be a part of YAC? And previously, I think Commissioner Menier and I had showed interest, and we're happy to go down and talk to some of the schools or the clubs, or, whenever, maybe before June, so we can get more local high school students interested in joining YAC.
Thank you so much for bringing that point. Actually, thank you particularly for coming and meeting with me 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago. And you brought that to my attention. And I was able to bring the high percentage that you said about the percentage. And we have that great conversation about, yes, you're right, we need to focus in and make sure that we have more students. So yes, we have 70% and in members that live and go to school here in Morgan Hill.
That's
and 30% and 30% maybe less that live in Morgan Hill, but they go to GECA or San Jose.
Sure.
So right now we have only students coming from GECA, nobody from San Jose.
Okay.
And we definitely were open to residents in
Okay,
San
that's
Jose.
wonderful.
So thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I had one question. I just wanted to understand for the teen center, what is a reasonable, you said you wanted to increase the attendance for this coming year. What's a reasonable number?
So when I say attendance, it's like daily attendance as far as like how many kids actually show up. I think a reasonable number is like anywhere between 10 to 15 kids. If we can increase it by that much, the place would look a lot busier and full, and kids would be able to get to meet more kids in the community. But yeah, to answer your question, our goal is around 10 to 15 kids additional to what we already have showing up.
And what are your ideas for like the stickiness to get them to come?
It's gonna be, well, food, for instance.
That's a good sticky way, yes. It always helps, all age groups.
Right, but again, just being able to provide activities and a space for kids that are actually into, trying to tap into whatever they're into. So like whether if it's tech, whether if it's arts, if it's drama and things like that, getting them to understand that they can come and do that stuff in the teen center. They don't have to meet at a Starbucks. They don't have to stay in school since they've been there all day and have meetings at the school. They can have their meetings there. So it's pretty much just gonna come down to like exposing what the teen center already has. And then the goal is to try to get in front of the schools and present and get out there and let them know that this is there for them to use. So, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Leo, on that note, it's the teen center it is such an important space, primarily to create a safe space for teens to be themselves. In terms of services or offerings besides a food or a movie night, is a teen center in a position to provide volunteer credit to students that may have that requirement to be volunteers in such a way that maybe they are providing some level of skills to other teens, like he's talking about coding or film or graphic design. They could maybe, get credit to do that, or I don't know, tutoring services is a thing where you can partner with other businesses to bring in.
Yeah, we've tried the tutoring aspect where we've been able to get some teens who were kind of getting closer to that graduation level to be able to come in there and help other kids with their homework. It's a thin line that you have to be careful, at least I try to be careful about, is just because of their age ranges being so close that sometimes you don't want to cause like any type of like animosity between like somebody thinking, oh, what's this guy sitting here trying to teach me this stuff or whatever. But I think as far as like volunteer opportunities for teens, that's something that we can definitely, think about as a team to be able to provide them some opportunity to come in there and get their service hours. But the closest we've ever gotten to it is the tutoring.
And for the teens that are, getting to graduate, perhaps into the workforce, have you guys thought about, skills development, career center type of counseling in that way?
Yeah, so in the last, I'm not sure if it was the summer before or not, but again, Circle of Giving was able to come in and they did presentations around like career readiness type of thing. The one thing that we did implement one time was more of like so a local financial advisor came in and just talked about like the basics of like checking accounts and he even got into the whole credit thing, but that kind of but we want to be able to provide more of that opportunity for them as far as like workforce readiness type of thing. Right now, our goal has just been trying to get more teens in there. And hopefully, by being able to strategize and figure out what we can do as far as giving them those type of opportunities and get more kids in there. But yeah.
Great. We were talking about volunteer opportunities. The teen center is right by the senior center.
Correct.
Have you considered like an intergenerational, like a volunteer opportunity or an event or something where the teens and the seniors can kind of benefit, the teens can actually benefit from volunteering and receive volunteer hours?
Yeah, so the teen center hours versus the senior center hours don't really like match up.
Okay.
But they have kind of intermixed sometimes, mainly in the summer when the kids are more available during the day. And at that point, they'll either become a YMCA volunteer or they'll become like a city volunteer. And then you'll see them intermixing in the senior center and things like that. That does happen mainly in the summertime.
Okay.
Just because their hours kind of mesh a little bit better. But I definitely hear what you guys are saying, trying to be able to provide them a little bit more of an opportunity to volunteer in some career readiness. So we'll definitely take that back.
Especially in the tech area.
Yeah.
Where the seniors, I'm sure, could use that help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Leo.
Okay. Moving right along. We will move actually on to what we originally had as number 5, which is now number 4, to work plan updates. So let's do our work plan updates first. Do we have any updates that we would like to go over? Let me open that up.
That's my next.
I'll provide progress on the downtown dog park and that I think it's being very well attended. I don't know how many more comments we have. Mr. Director, we had about 18 towards the end of last year.
I don't have the
Yeah.
update for the last month. I think it's the number of comments have not been coming in as quickly as they were, but we'll have be connecting with you and bringing the formal update to the commission next month.
Great. I just know when I walk by, drive by, there's always somebody in the park with a dog. So
Yep.
I've seen the same.
I think it's gonna be a success. Looking forward to it.
And the gist of the comments have been around.
We want covered areas, we want benches, we want it to be a permanent thing. Yeah.
Not a pop-up.
They want grass or other things as well.
Yeah.
Not a.
It's great. We'll deal with that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear any no's, just a lot of, but we want.
Yes, and.
We want the next step. Yeah.
Yes, and.
We'll see where that goes.
Very good. And any other updates? We can go one by one, or maybe easier just to go by commissioner. Any updates?
No updates.
No, updates.
No updates.
No updates? And none from myself either, since we last spoke. Anything from your end, Chris, from the updates? Is there anything that you wanted to?
No updates. So what our plan is next month is Carrie is going to bring back the dog park updates, as well as we're going to bring back update on park restrooms, which is on the work plans as well. So I don't know, Commissioner Moniz, a little bit of work on that. And we're going to bring kind of like some cost things ahead of the CIP program for the commission to take a look at.
Restrooms?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, wonderful. And then before we start on to our final agenda item on the Jackson Park, is this the time?
I'm gonna have to recuse myself from this last item, so good luck, everybody.
Right. Thank you very much. All right. And with that, then we'll start our. Yeah.
Find my spot.
The final set.
Yeah, and so Chris Keone, I'm gonna be providing this presentation tonight, and so what we're asking the commission to do is receive an update in the development related Jackson Park expansion and provide feedback on the initial plans for the park, and that can be formal feedback from the commission. So the commission has heard about this item a couple times before. Initially in oh gosh, the year's running by me, I think it's 2017 or 18.
18 and 23.
18, thank you.
And then.
And more recently in 2023. And what it is the proposed expansion at Jackson Park is the development adjacent to the park would provide additional space at the park. So the park could be expanded to a larger size park that would serve existing residents and the new development. In addition to the park expansion, the development has proposed in alignment with our Parks and Rec master plan, a trail component that runs through the development that would be publicly accessible, that gets you basically to Hill Road from Jackson Park or near to, as well as they are now proposing a soccer field on the west end of the development that would be privately owned but publicly accessible. So jumping to the first one, and you'll hear from the developer as well on this item. So I'm sure they're going to give you maybe even more detail than I am. But the amenities in the park expansion would include walking paths, a dog park area, larger field area than what we currently have. The proposal actually kind of demolishes where the existing field is and builds it back within a basin that's probably at least 50% larger in size. A small amphitheater would go in that basin as well that would support the school. And then a new second play structure would be added along with the existing play structure. So as I mentioned, the commission reviewed these plans in 2023. The plans are very similar to those plans that were reviewed at that time. So what we're recommending as staff, there are several things that we're recommending that be looked at or coordinated with this, and we're recommending that the commission hold these recommendations from staff and continue to recommend them to the developer. The park has limited parking because it doesn't really have a parking lot, but the big concern we have is finding some ADA parking spaces. Staff has discussed a potential location for these spaces with the developer. So we believe just finding some ADA spaces to support parking at the park would be a good thing. The retention basin is something that you see at parks such as Nordstrom Park. That the field area at Nordstrom is a retention basin, and it's used for flood, if there was significant flooding in the area, it fills, but then quickly the water exits. So if this is acceptable, there's some things that are in the agreement or that are in the plan development that developer has to do to help ensure that the costs for doing this the basin as part of the park don't overly impact the city more than the city's responsibility. So that still needs to be worked out. But the city staff does think that the site works that way. The third thing we're asking is to increase the functional field space by either expanding that basin or spreading it out and reduce the fringe area. So there's more grass and less landscape and sidewalks that are condensed in the east side of the park. So we're asking that. We've talked to the developer about that. And then there's extended pathway at the northern edge of the park. So the park pathway can loop so people can do like a circle in there. So that's one of the other ones. And then we'd like to, there's an unimproved section of southeast section of the park. Basically it runs across the south side of where the little, the culvert where the water comes through the park. And we talked to developer about, because the park will be developed, making sure we develop the full park space, because it'll be really hard to develop that without impacting it significantly once the park is built. But with that said, we believe it would be a passive space and not something that would require a significant amount of work to make it, to improve it and be up next to people's fences and stuff. So more like walkway, maybe quiet spaces with some picnic tables with chessboards on them, stuff like that. So that concludes what our recommendations are on the addition. We do believe that the park expansion is in line with our park master plan. I did explain in the report that some of the what the developer is doing isn't out of the good of the good, just the goodness of their heart. They have the opportunity for some fee credit, and some of it was in association with their PD. So and kind of explained how that worked in the staff report too. And we'd still be looking at that. With that, I would be open for any questions, and then once you have asked questions of me, we'd ask that you give time to the developer to come up and present as well, or if you'd like them to present before I take questions, you could do that as well.
Any questions?
I'm okay for them to present. You can do.
Are there any areas of disagreement with the developer?
I don't think there's disagreement. We've talked about everything that I just listed off through 1 through 5. I think in most cases it's yes. I think the retention basin, there needs to be more work done to define the city needs more work done to define the responsibilities that the city would have on that, but we're working through that.
I saw in one spot there was some question about whether it would drain. There was a draining issue. If I remember reading the report correctly, is that been resolved?
We think that's going to take more work in a future phase to look at the engineering of it. We just want to make sure there's not standing water there on a regular basis.
Right.
All right. We can have the presentations then.
You want to hear from?
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Emil?
If I put this in here, they're gonna be able to see it.
Oh.
Okay.
It's
It's the presentation.
Oh, okay. I need to get Sergio to help me put on. Sergio, you can help us put a presentation on? I'll help you.
Okay,
I
perfect.
was trying to do it earlier. I couldn't figure it out.
No worries.
Yes, be honest.
No, he didn't give it to us in advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see photo there.
Can I ask a question while they're filling out that? So, what's the purpose of this whole staging area thing? To me, that's kind of a wasted space. I don't know how many people are gonna be out on the stage and the concrete in the middle of a park.
Well, I think Samuel, Rocky will discuss that in their presentation and I can
Okay.
answer.
Can it be like a basketball court or something or
And
something?
then when you
that's more
take
active?
that away. Perfect. Yeah.
We can, let's let them do the presentation and I can answer that.
Okay.
That question.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm working on the Community Facilities District for New Horizon. See here to start. This is just an example of the entrance, what it'll look like, where the roundabout is. Here's the water retention basin that Chris mentioned. We're working on, staff report number, 3, reducing the fringe area. Working on that, so that this isn't a final example, this is just a representation of what it will look like. Let's see here, and then again, there it is right here. This cul-de-sac you're seeing is Court A, so to address the parking, we're trying to fit more parking to the right of Court A from this perspective here. We don't have it in our final plans yet, but we're working on it with Camp. This is gonna be example of the trail next to the channel. This is the trail Chris mentioned, this will go to Jackson Park from Hill. We're working on trying to extend it all the way to, was it Fountain Oaks, right? Fountain Oaks. Because we want the kids to be able to have a safe path to go from the development to the school. So this is another example of the trail. The mural you're seeing on the right is just part of our ordinance. It's gonna contain just history of the area, the history of the people who lived here. So it's just kind of a good learning experience for the kids if they choose to walk this trail to Jackson Academy. It's another example of what it's gonna look like. And the art is being done by a local artist as well. And again, here's another example of the trail next to the channel. So on the right here, you're gonna, where the red tarp is, that is the secondary structure that we're gonna add in correspondence with the first one.
Chris mentioned that he wanted to potentially add a trail that makes this area more accessible, more circular. That's gonna be to the right of this secondary structure. We're working on designing that, getting that in there, see what we can do. But if it were to go in, that's where it would be. It'd be located right on the right of this parking structure here. Again, this is another example, just from a different angle of what it will look like. You can see the open space area on the left and the retention basin behind that. Another one, and in the background here on the left-hand side, if you look closely, you can see that amphitheater area, that concrete area. And here's a closer picture of it. This is mainly for, we were thinking of Jackson Academy of Math and Music. We wanted them to have somewhere to potentially practice, maybe for graduation ceremonies. Since it's so close, it's gonna be a safe area and it's located right next to the trail. We just figured it'd be very easy to access and convenient for the school. This is gonna be what the seating looks like. Just an example, this isn't final again, but this is what we're going for. And you can see the seating for the amphitheater a little bit behind this picture. So we're also including like a little dog area, places to sit, places for kids to play, just nearby. So it won't just be a piece of concrete in the middle of this field. There's gonna be additional stuff to accommodate or complement the amphitheater. So for number 5, Chris mentioned that he wanted a little part of the park to have like he wanted, what did you say, Chris? Like the little chess areas,
You said passive picnic.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bridge you're seeing here is potentially what we're gonna try to do for that little area you mentioned, except it's gonna be a lot smaller. And you can see in the background here, the soccer field. So the tennis club mentioned that they're having problems with people playing soccer in the tennis courts. This may mitigate that just a little bit. Just because there's not a lot of places to play soccer in Morgan Hill. I could probably count them all in one hand. Here's another spot. So hopefully the tennis club can start recommending them to go here instead. This is gonna be a top-down view of what the current design is. This isn't final. Again, hopefully we can, work with the city and work with your guys' recommendations to change this if need be. But this is just the final thought, the final idea of it. And that's gonna be it. Do we have any questions or any questions I can answer right now, or maybe any recommendations of how we can potentially, make it more, kid-friendly or community-friendly?
Sam, is there a bathroom?
I don't think,
There's
no.
no bathroom proposed for the park. We've talked about it in past meetings, so. One of the things with our parks there are a couple of things. So the bathroom is an ongoing maintenance issue, and this park is, even though it'll be expanded, it's a little kind of more neighborhoody than community wide. I mean, it can be used community wide, don't get me wrong, but if we were looking at restrooms, I think the commission is focused on the other parks that might be more centrally located in the city. But it doesn't mean that's something we couldn't talk about.
I would second his thought about trying to get a bathroom there. I mean, it's a difficult thing for people who go to visit and then gotta use the restroom and now they're on the road. Carbon footprint.
Especially with the amphitheater, if it's gonna draw crowds.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a good suggestion. We'll talk with Camp and our designers, and I personally agree. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yeah, we'll have a sit down talk and see what we can do about that.
Yeah, and I think the commission, if I just jump in, the commission, you guys can put that in kind of your recommendation. I will say it's still something we need to look at, and I don't know if it's something that city staff can ultimately support given our current financial situation, but it's something we could look at. And I think it's something you could further discuss as we come back next month on the restrooms for the other facilities, because I think you'll have to prioritize where you think they're the most important.
Okay.
So, but it's definitely something you can put in the recommendation when you finalize this tonight.
Because this has been a hot topic this evening, I will ask, is there any lighting plan for this facility,
I'm
for this
not-
park?
I'm not personally familiar. Is there a lighting plan for this? There's not.
Nothing.
I think that we'd have park safety lighting, we have some in the existing park that might continue to go through, but nothing significant like lighting for use at night.
Any other questions?
How accessible, or is there like a gate or barrier between the school and this whole part?
From what I'm aware, the school does have a fence during school hours. Of course, they're not allowed to use and they're monitored. As far as anything we're building, I don't believe we're building anything extra, like any gates or fences. It's just whatever the school has already there, it's there.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I can add, there's one gate that the school has to the park, the school keeps it locked most of the time. However, even if they keep this locked, what Sam talked about earlier is to the west of the school, there's a piece of property that the school's on it right now, but it's owned by the city, but the school uses it where it's actually where the gas pipeline runs through that area, so you can't build on top of it, but the city owns that property. And that's where Sam talked about that connection to Fountain Oaks. So even when the school's in session and we then have that connection to the front of the school via Fountain Oaks, and then the school can optionally open and lock the gate directly to the park too. So we'll provide more options for access to the school just by getting that connection done too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Great.
Anybody else?
Great.
Sam, on this map here, there's a red dotted, is that the walking path?
Yep, that's it.
So that you mentioned there's a walking path that kids can take to the school, yes?
Not currently, so right now our plan is to have the walk path from Hill to Jackson Park, but we want to extend it to Fountain Up, so it goes all the way.
Yeah, if you look at, it's actually the top where you see the new Jackson Park at the top of the map right there, it would go off kind of your paper to the north, and that's where it would connect to the front of the school. It basically
To the front of the
runs
school.
down the front edge of the school.
Okay, not the rear, like at Paradise Park, Paradise School. There's a gate in the rear of the school that is open in the morning and the afternoons.
Yeah, so there's already a gate directly at the rear of the school to the park, and this
Okay.
would just provide a walking path that's open 100% of the time and get people to the front of the school, or allow kids, if they need to keep that back door open because their access through their front to get through the park to get over there. It also allow residents in the Fountain Oaks area to access the park without having to go way around the school.
Okay.
Great.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, if anybody does want a copy of just these photos or presentations, just let me know and I'll send them your way, or you can have this drive.
Yeah, if you want to leave that with me, I'll make sure.
Yeah, I'll leave it with you.
It's awesome.
Perfect.
And I'll find a way to get you back both some drives afterwards.
Yeah, no worries, take your time. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Okay, so with this item, if commissioners have more questions, I'd be happy to take them, but if you have feedback, agreeing with the staff recommendations, but also potentially looking at adding the bathroom, you may want to make a motion and include all those things in there that you want to see happen.
I might make a motion to accept the staff recommendations and add a bathroom.
Yes, I second that motion.
All approved?
Yeah.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Fantastic. And with that, I believe we have made it through our agenda. Are there any announcements that we have?
I have none.
None. All right. And any future commission agenda items that we want to place? That we know of? No. Okay. And we will adjourn 8:39. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.